rent free, rent free, rent free, lives in your head rent free, rent free, rent free, rent free, lives in your head rent free.
What's up, everybody? This is your main man, Tech Supreme, back with another episode of Rent Free with Tech Supreme. Really funny story. Last episode I released, I believe, on December 28th, so right after Christmas. And the entire episode, I was like, yeah, this is episode whatever I said. But that was actually episode 34, and this is episode 35. So please forgive me for that one. Welcome back. Shout out to everyone who listened to the last episode. It did a lot more numbers than I expected it to do. I'm really happy about that. So if you liked what you saw, like what you heard, please continue to like and share. I appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, smash that like button, as all people say who do YouTube. Smash that like button, hit that notification bell, whatever your fancy is. You know, you could do it, you can't do it. This is like one of those no pressure podcasts. Now, am I in a virtual studio? Yes, I wanted to switch it up today. I wanted to do something different. By trade, I'm a graphic designer, so stuff like this, super easy for me, and I think it's fun. So if you like it, let me know. If you're on YouTube, if you don't like it, I understand. But if you only listen to this podcast via audio, then you have no idea what I'm talking about, and my bad, right? Let's get into this. I just got back in town yesterday. Me and the wife went to Tampa Bay, Florida. Is it Tampa, Florida? Okay, it's Tampa, Florida, but the team's called Tampa Bay. Whatever. There is a bay there, so that makes sense, but it's just Tampa. So we were in Tampa celebrating her birthday and her good friend Alexa's birthday. It was a great trip, had a great time. Definitely looking forward to this self-imposed alcohol break because we kicked it. Friday night, we went out. Saturday night, Sunday night. Monday, we went to dinner. Kept it kind of chill. Even then, after the dinner, we went back to the hotel bar. Most of those times we weren't getting crazy, but like everyone had like a day, right? Like, you know, one person goes crazy hard where they hurt the next day, and then one person didn't, and then we kind of switched it. So everybody was feeling some type of way, but we had a great time. I was able to see Tampa, hung out in Tampa. That was awesome. Hung out in Clearwater at Safety Harbor, I believe is the neighborhood, and then as well in St. Petersburg, which was, I believe, Sunday night, which was actually a lot of fun. Really fun city. And you know, when you get there, I didn't know what to expect with Florida because my entire life I've only heard of Florida Man. So like, I just thought it was like racist and batshit crazy, and it is definitely. I didn't see a lot of black people. I'll be honest with you. I'll keep it 100. And the couple of times that I did see black people, I'll just say 2 times I saw black people. It was under very embarrassing circumstances. Don't know if I really want to get into it, but it was cringe. Some definite cringe moments were had at by these individuals. Now in Clearwater, I saw 2 black people, maybe. Well, there was a group of hanging out down the street. We were walking to from the restaurant to another bar, but it just wasn't a lot, and I expected to see more for some reason. Now that probably has a lot to do with what part of town we were on, and then again, I'm not from there, so I don't know the layout. I know people were saying to avoid Ybor City, and I was wondering if that's where the people of color were, because that would kind of track with how I feel about what Florida really is. So besides all that negativity and that weird cringe stuff, it was a good time. The food was okay. I'm not a seafood person. My wife is. I assume she enjoyed the seafood. We did go to a New Jersey pizza spot, and it was pretty legit. And they also had a bunch of firefighter badges, fire department badges on the wall, and like 3 or 4 of them I lived in that town in New Jersey. So that was really cool for me, really nostalgic for me, and it was solid New York style pizza, which, you know, New Jersey and New York style is the same pizza. So if I say like New Jersey style, it's the same thing. That was good. It was fantastic. I actually have a list. So every time I go out of town, I make a list of like where we've been, and I did have a list going. So Friday night we hung out at this place called Backyard Saloon. Shout out to the bouncer Eric. He's a young guy, super cool. He's a barber. I followed him, but he's a super cool guy. that was like the funnest experience because I was too old to be there for sure. I felt too old to be there. Now, if you look at me, I might not look as old as I am, and same thing with my wife. But we are in our 40s at this point, and this was a 20 something crowd. So we were able to post up by the bouncer who was like interacting with us the whole time. It was some good people watching, and wow, like if I was 20, that's where I'd be. If I was in my 20s, early 30s, that's where I'd be. It was literally like bar after bar after bar filled with young people having fun. It was cool. It was cool to see. And then like when we talked to the bouncer, we were like, so like, what time do we need to get out of here before the guns come out? Guns come out. Like, what you talking about? Like, oh, he's like, oh, we're from St. Louis, and he's like, oh no, they don't do that over here. That's crazy. It was a lot of people, so that was really dope to see. Like a bunch of people like that in that atmosphere, just being positive, being cool. That was fun. Let's see. The next night was more of a dinner night. We ended up going to a bar that I was tired. So I don't sleep well if I drink. I just like, that's just what it is. And I don't sleep well if I party, like it was drinking or not. I have this weird thing where no matter what time I go to sleep, I wake up at the same time. So if I go to sleep at 4 in the morning, I'm probably gonna wake up at 5:30, right? Like that's kind of how it works. So I was dead tired on Saturday and I hit a wall. Like, I did a monster drink, still hit the wall. Red Bull, still hit the wall. It wasn't until after dinner, and we got to this place called Giggle Waters that actually like came out of it. And I had a great time there. I thought that place was fantastic. Our next trip to Tampa, we're gonna go there and eat. But that was my favorite bar so far of the trip, and that was in Clearwater. Fantastic place. Giggle Waters has that vibe. They have a screening thing for outdoor. They do movie nights. It's a super dope spot. I would love to go back there. The next day we went to Salt Shack, which is it's in Tampa and it's on the water. Super dope spot. Just like it's not the food was okay. It was good. It wasn't anything that's gonna like explode your mind, but the atmosphere of the place was like just bar none. It was outdoors and it's feeling like 65 degrees. It's perfect. The drinks was flowing. I saw dolphins. Now they my wife was sitting across from me and Alexa was sitting on her side, so I was facing the water and I could see the dolphins and I was like, "Oh shit, dolphins!" And they looked and they was gone. And then as soon as they looked back, one of the dolphins that I saw jumped again, and I was like, "Oh, you fucking missed!" And so they missed it. So I was able to see the dolphins, which was super fun. We drove around Bay Shore, and that's a crazy neighborhood. We looked at the houses. I mean, you're talking about $3 to $8 million houses, so that's crazy. Um, we went to a sports bar, and we went there because Alexa, the homegirl Alexa, is from Philly, and it's a Phillies bar. Like they have a Phillies like upstairs only Philly fan only like section, like bar section. And I'm telling you, this was one of the illest sports bars I've ever been to. Just as far as like that's the energy you want when you go into a sports bar. Now, like there's sports bars like I don't know how to describe it for real because it's a sports bar on steroids. And when I tell you they run it efficiently, it was packed out, tons of people. You ordered on a QR code, and boom, it's at your table in 5-10 minutes. And the food was straight. Food was for sports bar. It's a 8.5 for sports bar food scale. And watching food reviewers, I love all the food reviewers, right? I love Keith Lee, Peaks 100, but I really love King Schwartz. I think it's Schwartz, but he's from New Jersey, so there's that connection. But like he does things on scales, which makes more sense because if I have a chicken sandwich from Popeyes or Chick-fil-A or McDonald's, that's not going to be on the same scale as on a restaurant. So that's why I just said that on the sports bar scale to 8.5. It might even be a 9 just for the efficiency of it. And the food was good. It was great. That was the Fergs. That was in St. Petersburg. That was in St. Petersburg. So that place, St. Petersburg seems like a little bit more like more fun, to be honest with you. A little less stuck up, a little less pretentious. So a little more, basically a little more realistic, a little more gritty, which I like. I've had a choice. I'm definitely living in Tampa, but I can see St. Petersburg too because that's just a fun place, fun area. I won't get into the rest of what we did. We had a lot of fun. There was a pool day in there, or pool moment because it was cold. The air was cold. The pool was hot, but the air was cold. So that was crazy. But that was just a fun trip. I can't wait to do it again. And if you ever on the fence about going to Tampa, go to Tampa. Tampa's straight. Now, obviously, I didn't see the nitty gritty side. Not the nitty gritty side, but like I didn't see the Florida man side, even though I did find a Florida man beer, and you know, it is what it is. So that the energy is there, the atmosphere is there. It's Florida, but great time, great city. I liked it a lot. Now, what was it? I want to explain these. I don't know if you can see these. This is the first time I've ever gotten my nails done, right? So my niece, she, my niece, she was having this whole thing. We took her out for her Christmas gift, because we give the niece and nephews experiences. That she had, if she was fixated on the fact that like I would never get my eyes as a man would never get my nails painted pink because it would make me too embarrassed. And I told her that I am so secure in who I am as a person and my sexuality that a painted nail would do nothing for me. So I wanted to prove her wrong, or not even prove her wrong, but just show her that like the color of your nails is not tied to who you are. It's just color on your nails. So I got my nails done. My wife and her friend, they wanted to get their nails done. I'm a good sport. I said, I'm gonna get my nails done too. Shout out to Alexa for paying for my nails. I appreciate that. So yeah, I got a clear coat, got a manicure and clear coat, and then is that how you do it? So then I got one black one. So I've seen people do the black nails. King Stretch is one of them, like the one, and it represents child abuse. 1 in 5 children will be a victim of child abuse. So to basically raise awareness to that, people will paint one of their 5 fingers black. I love it. I actually really can't stop looking at them. This is a new thing for me. I'm going to grow with it. Shout out to my boy Caleb, because he's been painting his nails for years and getting shit for it. And I've always defended that. Like, it literally, Caleb has a beautiful family. People in their toxic thoughts and they're attributing sexuality to very non-sexual things is really weird for me. Believe it or not, a straight man can put on a dress and still be a straight man. So like these things aren't the same. And people don't know that. They don't want to know that, or they're just ignorant to it. I don't know what it is. But me, you know me, I'm all about love and inclusivity and just being who I am in my skin. And I love these. I'm going to keep getting my nails painted going forward. I'm going to get a pedicure at one point. I got the crow toes, so I don't know about all that. I feel bad for them that day. But I'm going to do it because, like, I really love how clean my hands look, how they feel. I love them, how it looks, how it throws people off, because I like to fuck with people. So if I can throw you off even better, I'm all about this. I'm all about the fingernail joints. It's fantastic to me. Now, I wrote down my topics. I write down my topics. So this is unscripted. This is an unscripted podcast. I just riff off the top of my head. So I'm going to skip this next topic and bring back to it. And I want to talk about airplane decorum. I'm going to make this one really brief. And I need everyone in my life who I know to know that if the plane stops, then you don't get up and walk to the front of the plane. You sit the fuck down and you wait for everyone in front of you to get their shit and leave. Don't you dare get up and walk to the front of the plane. Don't. You're not going to get past me, for one. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to stop you. My wife is probably going to say something. So these young people, when we landed in St. Louis, they did the shit. And someone stood up and stood in front of their way. They didn't get far. I looked at my wife, realized that they probably don't fly a lot, because you cannot do that, bro. Like, I will cuss you out. It's one of those things that when I see it, my blood instantly boils. Like, bro, sit down, wait for everyone else in front of you. That's how you get off a plane. Front first, one row at a time. Everyone knows this. It's like this. It's like the universal law of getting off, of deboarding. Don't try to break it. You're not more important. You're not like, and honestly, if you're scared you're going to miss your connecting flight, plan better. But this is how we're getting off this plane, in order. Can you imagine people in the back trying to get, how much chaos that would create? I hate it. That's all that's just my rant. That's my rant of the week. Don't do that. Do better. Just sit down, shut the fuck up. When it's your turn, get up, get your bag, walk the fuck off. Simple as that. Do not ever in your life hop up and start walking to the front of the plane. Someone's going to catch you. Someone's going to cut you out. You ain't going to get far. Now, Did they get past the people that they walked past before old dude blocked them? Yes, they did. Is what it is. I don't blame them. It's such an awkward situation when people do that because it's such a concrete rule. Don't do that. All right. All right. I'm done. I'm done. Now January 1st, I released The Other Side, which is a single. And a single off of my upcoming EP, The Grooveland, Volume 3. It's been getting a lot of love, a lot of people have been listening, and I appreciate every single person who listened. And I got a new song coming out in a couple weeks. So we're going to keep this momentum rolling. You know, I talk about consistency. Yeah, we're going to just keep it moving. I might throw a snippet of my next track at the end of this one. It's called Meant to Be. I love it. It's one of my favorite tracks that I've produced this year. And the vocal sample that I used is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. I absolutely love it. I love everything about it. I do love the first one I released, which for some reason I'm drawing a blank on the name because again, I'm just riffing off the top of my head, The Other Side. But I like this one too, and I can't wait to keep doing this. So I'm gonna try to do every other week releases or every few weeks releases, and just trying to keep that momentum going and just dropping singles. And then once all the singles are done, then I'll drop the EP. And like we're like this one is going to be on Grooveland 3, and then I have some more stuff that's coming out. I'm doing a retro funk album. I'm doing an album with the Midwest Avengers. Me and a certain person from my past maybe linking up and doing some music again. I need to reach out and solidify that. But we're moving in 24, bro. Like, we are being consistent. We're going to put this music out. We're going to post until something changes. And that's the goal. We're going to post often until the situation changes. And let's go. And that's just the motivation. That's it. I meant to go get a whiteboard because I want to write down. Like, I write down on my phone, but I want to write down and visualize it in real life. I really like as you can see, the virtual studio, I don't have a lot of wall space, but in real life, I don't have a lot of wall space. So I got to figure something out on that. But that's what we vision boarding. We doing all that. We getting to it. We reading books every day. That's my another thing I want to read every day. We're getting after it. But it's been a great couple weeks. We're on the second week of the year so far. I love it. We keep moving forward. Now I have this segment called Society is Cooked. Like, that's not the segment, but that's what I wrote down. And the reason why I wrote down, and my wife would tell you, I argue online. It's dumb, but sometimes I do. But it's not so much that I argue lately, is that I will just comment. And then that brings arguments from people who have a less amount of intelligence. So I'm gonna read you the name of the video. This is a law and crime video because I'm a big true crime YouTube watcher. Teacher allegedly had sex with her 13-year-old student, sent him money on Cash App. Simply, that's molestation. That's pedophilia. That's all the bad things, right? Is the teacher, the trend is these hot teachers, because like they're attractive women, are molesting kids. They're still evil people. They're still monsters. They're still preying on children. But for some reason, certain groups of the population feel like it's okay because I guess when they were younger they wanted that and didn't. I don't know. So the comment that I replied to was a young lady who says, as someone who works at a middle school, I just can't wrap my mind around this. It's so heartbreaking. And I commented, I work at a middle school too, and it's completely disgusting and heartbreaking that this happens. This isn't even a one-off thing. It's sickening, right? And then someone responded, it's happening like drunk driving, bad luck if caught. I don't even understand what that means, but I guess he's trying to say it's becoming normalized like drunk driving. Both are bad. But then here's where it goes. Here's where you start the arguments, right? Heartbreaking, question mark. The boy was having the time of his life. He ran away from home and his parents went to the cops. A child can't give you consent, you fucking idiot. And this is a woman who said that, I believe. It's ugh. Yeesh. And then people start attacking me, which is fine. But I'm gonna say things like, even if the kid's all about it, he legally cannot give consent. And smart people are like, yeah, that's right. Some guy said he got the kitty plus got paid for it. Very heartbreaking. dude, like I'm not gonna even say what this is. These are basically pedophile enthusiasts. Um, it's crazy. Somebody said when the video comes out, I'd like to see it. These are gross human beings, bro. Like honestly, there should be like a report to authorities button. Like, and it's like if there's like a cop somewhere who's like doesn't have much to do, like he gets these reports and he just does a brief look into their this person, whoever's saying this, because they need to be investigated and make sure that the kids around them are safe. Because obviously these teachers aren't protecting these kids who are in this situation, but all these people who are saying it's okay, that's crazy. And you know some of them have kids. That's crazy. And then someone says, how is it heartbreaking for the boy? The boy at the time of his life, what the fuck? And I said, he got molested. You're sick, seek counseling. It's all society. And that's why I said, and this is what I said on Twitter in response to this, our society is cooked. We're done as a society. If that's okay, if we can't draw the lines at protecting children, we're fucked. This country's fucked. So yeah, super, super gross and disgusting. And you know, if you just really pay attention, it's happening a lot lately. It's happening in almost every state. I know a couple people, I don't know them, but like I know cases that have had come through St. Louis that it's happened to. It's crazy. And no. Even as a kid, why would you want that? Like, that's just crazy to me. When I was in high school, the last thing on my mind was hooking up with a teacher. That's so gross. And if someone did, I'm going right to the authorities because what are you doing? But I'm also intelligent. So these people who comment that like it's okay, they're not, in my opinion, and that's just no one can tell me otherwise. Moving on. Cat Williams jumped out the window, which is a phrase that I like to say when someone says something outlandish or crazy. Just basically attacking every other comedian. If you haven't seen it, went on the Shannon Sharp podcast, airing out everybody, and obviously it got like 20 million views. It's for clicks and attention, and it works. What he's saying is true. I doubt it. I believe it's mostly cap. It's the same thing. Everyone's just trying to get that attention, and everyone's perfect. This man on his podcast, I'm not slamming Cat Williams because I'm a Cat Williams fan. He said he runs a 4.4. He said he was a genius and read 36,000 books in 3 years. He said he read 12,000 books a year. Something crazy like that, bro. Like, maybe it could have been even 1,200 books a year for 3 years. So it would be 3,600. Okay, sure. So all of a sudden, now you're a genius. No accountability on any of the drug shit that was highly publicized. And he's like, oh, I've never been on drugs. Okay, cool. So we're just in here lying. We all know we lived through you wilding out in the streets, getting beat up by teenagers. We all were there, bro. You can't rewrite history. So also, I find it interesting that these celebrities can hop off into fields that other people go to school for, work hard for years, and then they're just in that position doing it. Like Shannon Sharp, wonderful tight end, entertaining even on the podcast and things like that. But he's not a journalist, and doing interviews taken with a grain of salt. That's all I'm going to say about that. Do I enjoy celebrities doing interview shows and podcasts? I do, just like everyone else does. But there is no journalistic integrity from someone who's not trained as a journalism. So take everything they say with a grain of salt. All right, well, I think we're going to wrap it up after these next two topics, but they'll go pretty fast because, you know, I got to stream online and play video games. So the death of resolutions, as we all know, January 1st rolled. It came and it went. One thing I noticed is someone who goes to the gym at least 2-3 times a week. Used to be a lot more, but as I get older and I get busier, I do find it a struggle to get there every single day. Trying to mitigate that by working out more at home. So we'll see how that goes. But I go at least 2-3 times a week easily, right? No matter what I got going on. And I noticed every year before this, I've noticed that January 1st, of course, until about February 1st, there's a lot more people in the gym. This year, nothing. And I started to think to myself how sad that is because people culturally will say that, like, I don't want these people in my gym, these new people or whatever. Like this whole the gym culture thing is kind of toxic sometimes. Like I don't want new people in the gym. I just want the gym myself. Like you're gonna quit anyway. But I've always, after I started being a gym regular, always felt like people who did New Year's resolutions should come to the gym. So they at least get a taste of it. And I try to be positive force in the gym. I don't want Joey Swole coming after me. So I try to encourage people, smile at people. Like I don't, I do my own thing. I don't really bother people. But like I try to be not the judgy person inside the gym. And because I'm still a big dude. Like I could do pull-ups and bench a lot, but I'm still a big dude. So like someone could look at me like, what the fuck is this big boy over here doing? I try not to judge or do anything like that. But it's sad to me that like a tradition as good as, oh, it's January 1st this year, I'm going to better myself, whatever that is, has been shitted on so much that now people just don't even do it. And I think that's really, really, really sad if you think about it. Now, at the end of the day, it's on you if you want to, if you want to go to the gym and do all that stuff. But I feel like the people who weren't directly, I don't know, maybe it was a trend to shit on resolutioners, but like people can change their lives on resolutions, and people should resolve to be better all the time. If that happens once a year, that's a good thing. So I'm bummed out that it's not a thing as much anymore. And I know the fitness industry probably hurts a little bit too from that, because a lot of personal trainers, that's where they make their bread and butter, is talking to these people. And the good trainers talk to the people, help them work out, and get them involved. Thousands, millions of people have changed their lives off of New Year's resolutions. There's never been anything wrong with that, and it's sad that that we don't have that. The last topic was plans for the new year. I've already pretty much talked about that. What we're doing is we're just going to be consistent. That's my favorite word. And I fall short sometimes, but we work on it. So I say that to say this. Thank you for listening to Rent Free with Tech Supreme, episode 35. I hope this episode finds you well. If you have any topics you want me to cover, please do not hesitate to hit me up. On all my socials are at Tech Supreme. YouTube is Tech Supreme 1, because there is a Tech Supreme that beat me to it years ago, who was completely inactive. That's neither here nor there. So, yeah, share the love if you can. Share the podcast. Share the music. Listen to the music. Go to Tech Supreme on Spotify, Apple, Tidal, Deezer. I don't know anyone who uses Deezer. I don't know what that is. Buy it for 99 cents or $1.29 at the iTunes store. Show some support. Show some love if you can. If not, it's all good. Hit the stream. I get 0.000005 cents from that. I appreciate that too, though. So, having said that, I will see you guys next week for Rent Free with Tech Supreme. Awkward stare.
Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free.